I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. I raised the question some time ago, and I think I have more clarity about when will Trump play the Trump card. Everybody knows that Trump knows whether Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, was born in Kenya. He knows. And let me tell you why he would know. There was a mega movement led by me and others called the Birthers, going back to as far as 2007, 2008, 9, and 10, regarding Obama's being illegal and ineligible to serve as president. And the CIA knew this from the get-go. The CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, hired Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, when he was attending a little small unknown school in Los Angeles, California, after he graduated Punahou in Hawaii. But they knew that Obama that he spoke fluent, if you will, Farsi and perhaps some other Arabic languages as well, because he had been raised in Jakarta, Indonesia. He spent 9 years in Jakarta, so he was fluent in the languages. So what was happening with Afghanistan and Russia wasn't going well for the Afghanistans, and America didn't want Russia to be able to take Afghanistan and then control a large segment of the Islamic, if you will, religion and nation. So they wanted to be able to have, if you will, experts, and there were several that were sent to Afghanistan to help the Afghanistan. They were known as the Mujahideen at the time. That's what their fighting forces were known, and they're in Afghanistan. So the CIA recruited Obama, and they gave him a lifetime package. They told him if he would go and serve as a field advisor to the Mujahideen and would be a go-between between the American forces, teaching the Afghans how to use weapons, how to read, how to understand the languages, etc., and being a go-between between American pilots, helicopter pilots, and other military, if you will, people that will be using satellites to help the Mujahideen fight the Russians in their Russian invasion in Afghanistan in the late 1900s. Late 2000, rather, late 20th century, I should say. At any rate, so Obama took that deal and spent several years in Afghanistan and actually helped the Mujahideen to drive Russia out of Afghanistan with their tails between their legs. It was a mighty move. They promised Obama, they took him out of that small college out there in Los Angeles, and they got Columbia University to allege that he was enrolled in Columbia, that he was a mid-transfer student. At any rate, all of this is documented. The FBI knows, the CIA and the FBI knows about it. But they promised Obama if he would do this, that they would give him a great gift. So when he left, when he came back, they accepted him at Harvard, which he wasn't qualified as a student at Harvard. We've never seen any of his grades. We've never seen one report card. Don't you think that's strange that we haven't seen his report, not one report card from Columbia University where he allegedly graduated with a bachelor's degree in political science? Not one professor, not one student. Parenthetically, I was studying to be in seminary, at Union Theological Seminary, during the time that Obama was allegedly studying at Columbia University. We were right across the street from one another. I studied at Union Seminary during its heyday. James Forbes was who had been considered one of the best preachers in America, was there as homiletics professor. At Cornell West, who was a very young man at the time, was there as a systematic theology professor. And then you had James Cone, who is the one who coined the phrase and developed the phrase called black theology, sold a zillion books, spoke all over the world about black theology. Union Seminary was at its height when I was studying there. And not once did Obama come from Columbia University. Everybody and their brother wanted to talk to James Cone. Everybody and their brother. Cornell West was like 30-some years old at the time. And he was a brilliant philosopher the son of a Baptist preacher. Everybody and their brother wanted to get an appointment to talk to Cornel West. But Obama never came to you. All you had to do is just walk across the street because he wasn't there. Let me get to the point of what I was saying here. Now, what I'm saying to you is this, is that Donald Trump knows that Obama was not born in America. Now, he's American, but he was just born in Kenya because his mama was trying to hide an ill-gotten pregnancy. That's where the whole mess came, because his mom was trying to hide the fact that she was having sex with her mother's lover, Frank Marshall Davis. Frank Marshall Davis was having sex with the mama and the daughter. And so Madeline Dunham was the mother. And so Obama's mama was having, so at any rate, so she didn't want her mother to know that she was pregnant by Frank Marshall Davis. So Stanley Ann Dunham, Madeline Dunham having sex with the same man, a would-be, if you will, political jerk out of Chicago named Frank Marshall Davis. So she flies over to Kenya to put the birth on this man named Barack Obama, who was from Kenya, studying at the University of Honolulu. At any rate, here's the deal. The deal is this, is that Donald Trump knows. So when is Trump going to play the Trump card? And the reason why I think this is important now, but it's got to be very delicate how he handles it. Now that they're saying that Trump may be ineligible because of his participation in an insurrection, and what the 14th Amendment to the Constitution says, segment C of the 14th Amendment, anybody who's participated in an insurrection or given aid and comfort to anybody who's participated in an insurrection is not eligible to hold office. So when is Trump going to play the Trump card? And I believe ultimately, because he's got it, now he's got the information. Because when he was president, he ordered up the CIA reports, had them brought to the Oval Office, and he read them. He's got them. Let me tell you one other thing that you need to know, and you'll only hear on the Manning report. The fact that they found all those documents down there in Mar-a-Lago, in the bathroom, on a stage, all strewn all over, that was just a smoke screen. Now, you may not like Tribulation Trump. You may not like him. You may not like the fact of what he says and what he does, but the man ain't nobody's dummy. He ain't nobody's dummy. That was just a smoke screen. Listen, those documents don't mean a doggone. Though they were classified, their relevancy is probably next to nothing. But the documents that do mean something, such as Obama's birth certificate, let me ask you a question. If Trump had access to all those documents you see on television all the time that Jack Smith and everybody else is promoting, if Trump had access to all those documents, don't you think he had access to Obama's file? Don't you think he had access to Obama's dossier? Don't you think he had access to everything that the CIA knows about Obama? About who his boyfriends were, what? You know, he's got that information right now. So I'd raised this question a year ago, when they're going to play the Trump card. And now that they're pushing him, Maine came out this weekend, the Secretary of the Board of Elections in Maine took Trump off the ballot there in Maine. As you know, the Colorado lower court ruled that Trump could not be on the ballot. They took him off the ballot in Colorado. So there are a couple of things. One is that Trump could, if push comes to shove, either Trump will go behind the scenes and say, put me back on the ballot, and not only that, but give me the presidency, or I'm going to produce, because he's got the record. Everybody knows Biden knows, Obama knows. That's why Obama's been laying low. That's why Obama's been laying low, because Obama knows that Trump has got his record. Everybody knows he's got it dossier, and the CIA had to compile it. And once you become president, that nobody can tell you that you can't read somebody else's record. Pardon me for a second. Pardon me. Listen, Obama has been laying low because he knows Trump's got his dossier. So the question now is, now all this information you're not going to get from the media. They know it too, but they're not going to report it because stuff like get out like this. Wildfire. Listen, the presidency of the election of 2024 is a shoo-in for Trump. Now, Trump saying, well, they stole the election for him. Old sleepy Joe Biden, that's what he calls him. I call him Biden, my time Biden. Stole the election from him in 2020 rather. Well, I mean, I've never said that what Trump was saying wasn't true. But they may have done that to Trump, but I don't think they would have stolen it from him if they knew that he had the actual dossier of Obama. So, my logical thinking, because I don't trust any of these politicians no further than I can throw a pink elephant. But my logical thinking says to me that Trump actually lost the 2020 election because it'd be very risky for the Democrat Party or the CIA or anybody else to throw the election to Biden, knowing that Trump got all these dossiers on everybody, like J. Edgar Hoover used to have dossiers on everybody. So, I don't think that, for that reason, I think Trump lost fair and square. I think a lot of people just got sick and tired of him and didn't vote for him. That was all there is to it. But now we can look at this year, 2024, as one of the most chaotic, tumultuous political years in the history of the world. I'm telling you, because Trump has got Obama's dossier. And you got to be out of your mind, a bird brain, to think that he doesn't have it and won't use it. The only other concern is that, and I say this as a reporter, I don't say it as one who's supporting the idea. The only other thing Trump has to worry about now is whether or not someone would try to take him off the scene. Whether someone would try to assassinate him, but I would think that Trump would have a backup plan if in the event that took place. I know I would. I'd have a backup plan that if that happened, the matter would be exposed nonetheless. Now, I have a dog in this fight. Let me just, for full disclosure, I have a dog in this fight. What I have in this fight is that I said Obama was never the president. And I'm still saying it. And I think Trump has got the absolute information that Obama was never the legal president. I think Trump's got the information. So I got a dog in this fight. That's why I'm looking at it perhaps a little more carefully than somebody like Alex Jones or somebody would look at it. I'm looking at it from the fact I've got a dog in the fight. And that Trump may be holding a dossier that would turn the world upside down if he produced a CIA report that Obama was born in Kenya, that there's been interviews about him being born in Kenya, there's documentation about him being born in Kenya, etc. And that the CIA knew it when they hired him to go to Afghanistan to act as a, if you will, asset to help the Afghans fight the war against the Russians. And then finally, there would be the international effect. Now, Trump probably has a lot of other international information as well. That's not probably, information on Russia. Who cares about Putin? And so what if we got information on Kim Jong-un? Nobody really cares about that. Top secret information about war plans for Iran, how to strike Iran in the event that America goes to war with Iran or with China or whatever, all that can be just changed. But the one trump card is the Obama dossier. And Trump's got it. You would have to be blind in one eye and can't see out the other, or deaf in one ear and can't hear out the other, if you think that Trump does not have that information about Obama. The issue is, when is he going to drop it? Well, let me conclude by saying this. I think he's going to run as hard as he can to become president, and he has a better chance of becoming president than does Joe Biden. Joe Biden just looks like he's too old. His son, Hunter Biden, is a drug dealer, a crackhead, a con artist, a sex freak. And the other thing is that Biden is tied down by Jim Clyburn, tying Biden down to that, if you will, Camelback ain't black Harris, Kamala Harris, and everybody hates her, and nobody wants her to be president. Because if Biden could just drop off and say run Kamala Harris, it would. But nobody wants Kamala Harris. Everybody knows her and Willie Brown, and probably she, hanging out with that boy Jim Clyburn. Nobody wants Kamala Harris, but Kamala Harris, Jim Clyburn told Biden, if you would take Kamala Harris as your vice president rather than Pocahontas, which he should have taken, Senator of Massachusetts, if he had taken Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, if he had taken her, then the Democrats would be in great shape to pass the torch. But not to that Camelback ain't black hair. Not, no, sir. Even Black Lives Matter people don't want her. So that's the dilemma. So Trump has a better chance of becoming president. And if he doesn't become president, I guarantee you that he's going to drop that Obama Dossier bombshell just as sure as you're born. And he may say, if you don't let me become president, I'm going to drop it. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you posted on how this thing is going to develop. But it's going to be an intriguing year, the year 2024. I'm James Edward Manning, everybody. I'm indeed the Lord's servant.